Tell me about how you became an outreach worker for the city of Evanston.
Well, it's actually it's pretty amazing. Growing up, my brother who passed away, James McCray, was best friends with Nathan Norman, who's also an outreach worker now in his role as a assistant program coordinator. Growing up, they always talked about giving back and helping kids, and it came upon a time where Nathan and my brother James McCray, who they call Jimmy, they started mentoring at Family Focus with George about 20 years ago, which was awesome. And they kind of wanted to start their own mentoring thing, and it kind of turned out to be like, hey, let's start helping kids out in the community. Let's start giving back. Let's start finding ways to help kids out so they don't make some of the same mistakes. So I seen that at an early age, but I never knew what it was. I just knew that it was helping out. I just looked at it more as, wanted to help out, and my brother and Nathan was just being nice and being kind, but I never seen the bigger picture of it, of the actual visualization of it.
Wait, what year was that around? Like how?
I would say I was like in middle school or elementary school, so maybe like 2002, 3.
How old are you?
I'm 28. Yes, but again, it stuck with me forever, and I always wondered, like, man, I want to do that too, because I was looking up to my brother and Nathan, and so I didn't know what it really looked like. So I went away to college and things like that. And
where did you go?
So I graduated from Evanston Township High School in 2008. I played basketball all 4 years. I was a freshman on varsity playing basketball. I was kind of a big deal, I guess, in high school for playing basketball. I used to travel around a lot for basketball. I played actually basketball and baseball. So my high school, it was kind of, I wouldn't say it was rough, but it wasn't the best. I wasn't the best student. I had a lot of fame at an early age, coming out of 8th grade.
From your sports?
Yeah, from basketball. I was highly ranked around the state of Illinois. I was kind of big with basketball. I was kind of like a hope with Evanston. Evanston wanted to see me progress and do something good, and maybe thought about professional basketball and all that. But I had a lot of detours and things like that, only because I think I wasn't mature enough and ready to take that fame on, and it kind of got to me. I was a person that I was a humble kid, but I was a person that wasn't ready for the spotlight.
So what does that mean?
So some of the things that it made me did is that I obviously, like I said, I wasn't the best student. It's not that I couldn't do it. I just didn't do it because of I thought I had special privileges and I didn't have to do certain things. So I know I was kind of slacking with coming to school and doing everything I was supposed to do my first few years actually in high school, to be honest. And junior year was where it showed that I had not did anything that I was supposed to do my freshman and sophomore year.
Like you just wouldn't show up to school, or you would go to school but you just didn't work?
So, I mean, it wasn't like I was not coming to school. It was like I was coming. It was Monday through Friday I was coming. I was there always. I never not missed any days and just stayed at home, but I was late, always late, not doing what I was supposed to do. Yeah, and then I didn't really understand the process. Me thinking who I was and how high I was ranked and things like that. I would thought that I would just be given something for basketball, and I thought that my talent and my ways would overtake some of the things that I was lacking in, which was school and things like that. And after a while I started getting a rude awakening about things. I think what changed me is that I got done with sophomore year. I was still ranked. Junior year came and I found out I was not going to be eligible to play basketball my junior year. So they told me at the beginning of the year, because of my grades, they told me that I had NC too many classes, so I missed too many classes my sophomore year. So sophomore year I had the grades. It was good. I passed classes. I think I failed one class, but I passed all the classes, but I NC classes, which means that it counts as an automatic F towards academics. So I was stuck. So even if I had a B or a C, it's still an NC and no credit. So I had 3 of those, which means that I couldn't play basketball.
And you never realized?
No, I never realized. And this is why it just ties into everything with outreach and everything. Like being able to share information and do things and help kids out is just so much of my passion, because I've literally walked these steps of being in high school, being a person that had a lot, being a person that really didn't take advantage of some of the things that Evanston has to offer, and that, you know, the City of Evanston outreach team has to offer. It's just...
Had you known some things, like if you got a certain number of NCs, you would have never let that happen, but no one told you.
Yeah.
Like teachers didn't tell you?
Well, at a point, I think they told me, and I'm not going to sit up here and say that no one did tell me, but I don't think it really clicked to me, and they really broke it down to me to understand what it actually meant. I mean, you could tell me as a high school kid that, hey, you're going to NC, but again, going back to my ways, I didn't think I was going to NC, or I didn't think they was going to allow me to NC. Like, I didn't think that it was going to happen to me.
And were you doing anything like getting in trouble?
I was a good kid. I didn't have any bad ways. I wasn't, you know, in school fighting or anything like that. I mean, you know, obviously it did happen before. I did get into a fight in school before, you know, throughout I would say 4 years, I got into a fight maybe twice. But it wasn't nothing where I was doing on a consistent basis, doing stuff. I wasn't, you know, disrespectful to teachers or anything like that. I was just on a high horse, and I needed to be knocked down, I think.
You were born and raised here?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Evanston. I got a family of 8. I got a huge family. Same mom,
8
same dad.
sisters?
8 brothers and sisters. Same mom, same dad. And I am the youngest. I'm the baby. My older brother, James, the one I was telling you about, he's deceased. He actually passed in 2012. When he died, he was 30. Yeah, he was pretty young. It really wasn't sudden. We knew that he had conditions, and we knew some of the things he was dealing with. We just didn't know when it was coming, and you know how it would come and how it would affect our family. But it was huge, man. He's very known around Evanston. He's a good guy. Yeah, he used to be in this program called I Am a Dream. That was pretty big around here with Peter Brayfray. Peter Brayfray went the alderman.
What about your other brothers and sisters?
So yeah, everyone else is here except my sister. She lives in Atlanta, and everyone else is here. Everyone else is doing great. My mom is Jermey McCray. She works at Whole Foods. She's been there for about 8 years. My dad, James Dickerson, he just passed not too long ago. He passed in 2014. He had bad kidneys, and so he struggled. He had some problems with drug addiction and things like that. But by far one of the great person, a great dad. Even with his trials and tribulations, he was great. You know, I got some of the best parents ever. It's just amazing how good my parents has been and how hard both of them work, especially my mom. She's one of the hardest working women I've ever been around, for sure.
How did they, when you say they were like amazing parents, what would you consider an amazing parent?
I would just say having 8 kids and being able to provide for 8 kids night in and night out, and not worrying about yourself and worrying about your kids, that makes her amazing. That makes my dad amazing. Being able to say that, hey, I'm going to make sure that all my 8 kids eat before I even eat, or all my kids get some clothing and go to school before I get clothing. That sets the standards high for me for being amazing and great, and just being the bat for every single thing.
What did he do?
My dad, he was a construction worker late, earlier in his days, and him and my mom has basically always been together. So they always had a relationship that they will always be there for the kids. So it was good. My mom, she's a loving person. She went to bat and made things work and kept them around through everything, and fought with them through all the hard times that we had.
Knowing that your dad struggled with substance abuse, how does that affect you in terms of your own life and how you work with other kids and young?
Well, growing up in Evanston and where I was from, I wouldn't say I didn't think it was normal, but it wasn't like a big of a shock to me. My dad was probably one of the most funniest guys around Evanston. Everyone knows him in Evanston, so I think it more later on in my life. I think it kind of put me in a place to be more motivated to help my family and go hard for my family and go hard for the Evanston community, just because what I've seen and what I experienced at an early age. I got a lot of older friends. Really don't have too many friends my age. Always stayed around the older crowd, and experience things that, at a young age, most kids don't experience.
So tell me a little bit about like what you do as an outreach worker.
Man, this job right here is probably the best job in the world. I would never think I would be doing something like this, as far as being able to give back to a place where I came from and the mistakes I made, and I can help others. The work is it's just so fantastic. Being able to connect kids through Evanston to resources that they may not know about, or they may need a little extra guidance, or they may need someone to kind of push them to get a kickstart to some things. It's just amazing. My job is dealing primarily with the younger crowd, so I'm dealing with middle school kids and I'm dealing with high school kids, which is just so amazing. And then it helps that, a lot of these kids heard some of our stories about basketball and traveling and just being in the community, that sometimes they look at me as someone that's a role model. So that kind of helps me on my outreach work also too, because I'm looked at as a role model, and then I'm also looked at as someone that works for the city of Evanston that can help get kids jobs and that can help place kids in summer employment. Every day I wake up, I love to help people. That's just who I am. I'm a family guy. Me and my family are very close. We're all close. All my brothers and sisters are very close. It's not a day that we don't go without none of us talking. I'm the youngest. I'm 28, so we grew up, and it's kind of crazy because we're all like a year apart. Yeah, we're all a year apart. We stayed in the apartment. We stayed on Jackson. We stayed on Jackson, Emerson. That's where I grew up at. Obviously, I'm the youngest, so it was houses before that.
Right.
But that's where I grew up at. And, again, like I said, financials wasn't always the best, but my mom always made it work. To be honest, I don't think I never really had any worries. As far as I'm going to eat, I was going to eat, and, I was going to have something to wear. Now, could I get the best things? No. Could I do anything I wanted? No. Could I afford to go anywhere? No. But the basic things, she made it work for me, and I was grateful for that. She made it work for everyone. My mom, she spoiled us, and we didn't have much, but it was crazy. How can you be spoiled without much? But we were really spoiled without a lot. Just being able to say that she cooked for us. She came home every day after work, after long days working. She worked her whole life. Very strong woman. Came home, cooked, make sure we eat, make sure we had clothes, cleaned up, washed the dishes, just did everything. My sisters would help. Obviously, we would help take out the garbage, but when you talk about a strong woman, she wasn't looking for any help. She didn't. We come home from playing baseball after a long day or basketball, and food would be there.
So there was a lot of love in your family.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a lot of love, but not a lot of finances. We were making it work. If we had to eat McDonald's or Burger King one night and everybody get a sandwich, that's what it was. We'd be happy about it. We wasn't mad about it.
How does your job work? You said you work with middle schoolers and high schoolers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go to them? Do they come to you? Where's the connection made?
Well, again, like I said, working with those kids, I'm familiar with the community. I'm born and raised here, so I know a lot of people. I'm able to go to any District 65 school and the high school. Obviously, I wasn't too far off from being there, so it's not like they don't know who I am as far as, being able to get granted the access. So I go to them. I'm in the middle schools. I'm in Haven. I went to Haven. Actually, the head principal over there, Kathy Robertson, she was my science teacher. Now she's the head principal over there, so the access is pretty easy. She allows me to come in there, do my thing, and she sends referrals to me anytime a kid is struggling or something is happening or something. She was with me for 2 years, so she knows some of my struggles that I had as a middle school kid. So she's like, hey, Jeremy, hey, man, I need you to reach out to this kid. Some of the things that you were dealing with or some of these things that you weren't dealing with that I know that you can help them with, can you reach out and connect to see how things go? And it can be from a variety of anything, just having trouble inside the cafeteria, having trouble at home. We kind of build a connection from there. And with the high school, connect back to youth and young adult services. We run Mayor Summer Youth Employment Program. So I've been able to connect with kids. I've been working here for 5 years. I've been able to connect with kids for 5 years. So I've literally seen my first group from freshmen goes to seniors and graduate, and now I'm starting back over from my freshmen to seniors graduate, and I still got some of those kids as juniors, sophomores, and seniors. So if you don't know, the Mayor's Summer Youth Employment Program is probably one of the biggest things that Evanston does. It helps employees over 600 kids. It gets kids employments. They get a job. They work 9 to 5 every day. They get a good paycheck every 2 weeks, and it's just it's their normal. That's what Evanston is. Like, I don't see how we would be able to even take that away when it's just like the premier thing of Evanston to get a job for the city of Evanston, and have youth and young adult services help you get a job. It's just amazing.
So what role do you play in that?
So I am the supervisor for the community maintenance team, which is also known as the green team. So I'm the head supervisor. So the community maintenance team, the city picks 30 kids through the job fair, which is assigned to the community maintenance team. So we get 3 supervisors. Actually, I'm one myself. We get 2 other supervisors that we hire through the summer. And for 9 weeks, we go around the community and we clean up the community. We paint poles. We go to parks. We clean up parks. We go in alleys. We clean up alleys. We go in business districts as far as Church and Dodge, Dempster, Howard areas, Oakton area, Central Street area, and we clean up the well-beings of the neighborhood. If it's some trash and we see trash in parking lots, we go clean up. We're out there, and in our lime green shirts or orange shirts with vests and painting poles, and making the community look better. Every year at the job fair, we get kids. We get about 200 to 300 kids trying to hire for this position, and we can only pick 30. So it's kind of like, oh man, like every year it's a hard decision. So these last couple of years, I've been just trying to take myself out the process and be like, hey, you guys pick, and I'm just going to have fun with the kids, whoever's there. Because I want everybody to get a chance to experience this great feeling that, we provide. And again, just going back, my boss, Kevin Brown, being able to allow me to have the freedom to be with these kids for 9 weeks every day from 7:30 to 3:30 is just amazing. He believes in me. Him and Portia Davis, and Nathan, they believe in me, and they put me up to the task, and I've been doing it for 5 years. And if you ask a kid right now what they want to do for the summer, they'll say they want to be on the green team, known as the community maintenance team. I graduated from ETHS. I ended up taking a scholarship to a junior college because of my grade situation. So my senior year, going back to my senior year, I ended up doing great my senior year. I ended up playing my senior year. It was like a amazing story that I bounced back junior year. I did everything I was supposed to do, and I think I got the motivation from not being able to play my junior year, and I was supposed to be the man, and I was supposed to be the best player, and the team did good without me. And I'm like, hold on, wait, they did good without me? Like, I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting to be good, but I'm like, everybody was looking for me. Jermey McCray, the big time player that was ranked in the state of Illinois, and was always around the best people, and always traveled and played on the best basketball team in the state of Illinois. And I'm like, wow, it kind of hurt me, and it kind of got to me, and I'm like, man, I can't do this. Like, so trials came around. I found out that I couldn't be around the team, and I couldn't do what I needed to do. And the coach was like, well, maybe we can get you around some days. And I'm just like, nah, you know what, I know what I got to do. And I just went and locked in.
So were you, obviously it was your fault that you weren't doing well at school, but were you pissed off?
I had some struggles. I was pissed off. I didn't turn into a bad kid or anything like that. I wasn't doing anything I wasn't supposed to do, but I think I had a little anger in me, and it kind of motivated me.
That's really
it kind of sparked in me.
Were your parents ever on you, like Jeremy?
They were my mom and dad was very supportive of me. I was also the baby too, so as much grief I should have got, I probably didn't get, because I was always the baby, and it always was like, Jeremy always find a way to get it done, so he'll find a way to get it done. And my parents believed in me. And
did they believe in all the kids?
Yeah. Oh yeah, my mom, even though I'm the baby, she loves it. It's amazing how she loves her children. But
so you were like, they said to you, can't play basketball, so that was junior year.
Yeah.
Off the team the whole year.
Yeah.
Playing no basketball, you see that the team's actually doing fine without you. Summer comes, senior year comes, and then you say,
oh no, I said I gotta get back. And I got back. And it ended up being a great, successful senior year. My team went downstate. Made it downstate and lost in the semifinal games to go to the state championship games. We actually lost on a half-court shot, a buzzer beater, to go to the state championship game in 2008, and it was just an amazing experience, man. And I didn't think that I was going to be able to be back, because I'm off a whole year. I didn't know how I was going to get accepted back from the team. I didn't know what role I was going to play, what part I was going to play. coming from not playing a whole year and just having to get back in the groove of everything. But the type of kid I was, I knew that I could find a way, but I didn't know if others believed that I could do it. And it actually ended up working out. But the years that I had messed up, it had messed up my overall GPA, my cumulative GPA, so I didn't qualify for college.
So where did you go?
So I ended up going to a community college in Kansas. By the great God, I got a scholarship to go play for Cloud County Community College, which was a junior college. So I went there for a year. Oh man, you talk about a culture shock. I was in probably a town that held, oh my God, probably like 5,000 people. And I didn't go there for a visit because I'm like, man, this is one of my opportunities I have to go. I'm like, they're like, this is what you need. Like everyone's telling me like, you need to go somewhere where you need to learn and you need to have dignity and you need to figure out how to wait to get through tough times.
And why didn't you go to Oakton or?
The thing was that I knew that I had to get away because I didn't want to get in any trouble and I didn't want to be the same like statistic of not doing anything, being a good basketball player and coming back and not having anything. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna take the task.
Okay, so you applied to Kansas, you never visited it, and you just showed up to go to college there.
So it's a community college. So you only go there for 2 years, then you graduate and you go to a 4-year school and go for 2 years. So this is where it gets tricky at 2. So I go to school for 1 year. I do great. Everything is good. I'm finding out, they're probably trying to keep things away from my family. He's not telling me as much as I want to hear about my brother. He's being sick. He's getting sick and things like that. So I'm in Kansas and they don't want to worry me. I'm playing basketball. Everything is good. I do good. I'm having a great season. It's tough. Came there out of shape and everything. It was tough. College was a different thing. Just being on your own. Now I don't have my mom to help me do my laundry. Now I don't have my mom to help me get clothes. Now I don't have my mom to do anything. All I have is a phone conversation from my family that's miles and miles away. And now I have to become a man now.
Were you homesick?
Oh yeah. You talking about being in a town that had 5,000 people and it's like you couldn't, like it was like 2 restaurants in the city and a gas station and a Walmart, nothing else.
So what were some of the things that were culture shock?
Oh, just everything, man. Just being in a small town, the town not being diverse at all, not being able to do what I just want. Just get up and go and have fun and walk around Evanston and dribble a basketball and go to a corner store.
Racism or like was
yeah, I did. It wasn't too bad, but it was definitely there. Just when we went outside of where we were supposed to be, so we were in like a secluded area, not a secluded area, but where the basketball players stayed and everything was cool. When we went out sometimes out of those areas, we kind of got a little racism, with some of the Caucasians down there. I guess they wasn't too fond of athletes and black male basketball players. It wouldn't be nothing too crazy. It wasn't no fights or anything, but just the body language and sometimes what they said.
Different from Evanston?
Oh yeah, much different. Much different. They were a lot more blatant with things. So it was definitely more different. And you knew it, and we knew it. And this was the year. It was actually crazy because this was the year I got down there when President Barack Obama had became the president for the first. It was crazy. So I would say 55% of the basketball team were African American. So we were all outside celebrating and having fun and clapping, and then we just chilling, and then all of a sudden we see a couple trucks ride past and shoot in the air and say bad words about Obama. Yeah, shooting in the air and just say a couple bad things about Obama and things like that.
So you finished there? I
finished 1 year there, right? Then I came back and started my 2nd year there, and I went through the first semester. Everything was going good, and then I got bad news. I got a call that my brother wasn't doing good and he was going downhill. So I'm like, man, I gotta get home. My brother was probably one of the closest people to me. I'm like, I gotta get home. I waited till around December came, and I came back home, and I found out that he wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing, and everything was just downward. And they were basically saying that we got to start preparing ourselves for his death, and we started, but can't really prepare for that, especially when someone that's a role model to you and you look up to and that you cherish and love. And he was the guy that always helped me through everything, and I can go to him for anything.
So you actually did leave school to come back?
Yep, I actually did. I came home for break, and I never went back because my brother had passed away, and I think that he was the reason why I was playing basketball still and how I wanted to pursue basketball. And once he passed, I'm just like, I can't do this anymore.
So what did you do?
So I stayed around. I came back. I worked out. I was working at an export. Got a job working up there and just doing basketball things. Yeah, a fitness place. And then Nathan had been let out from jail, and
so this is 2000.
This was like it was about 2012 actually. Yeah, I spoke to Nathan and he was telling me, "Hey man, I got this great thing going on, man. You remember when I was telling you about how me and your brother was trying to help mentor people and do stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He like, "That's what I'm doing now." I'm like, "Really?" He like, "Yeah." So we didn't talk for a week or so, and me and Maurice was talking. He was like, "Hey man, I'm about to go, apply for this job." And I'm like, "What's the job?" He was like, "Outreach position." I'm like, "Outreach?" I'm like, "What is that?" He was like, "Man, when we, mentor kids and help kids." I'm like, "For real?" I'm like, "That's dope." I'm like, "Who is it through?" He's like, "The city of Evanston." I'm like, "The city of Evanston?" I'm like, "You about to work for the city of Evanston?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "How'd you get it?" He's like, "Man, I'm applied, man. Nathan is working there, and I think it's gonna be a good fit." About 5 months went past, and Nathan was like, "Hey, man, I got somebody for you to meet." And I'm like, at this time, I have no work experience. I have no anything. I think I barely got a resume coming. I was just so basketball focused. So he was like, "Man, I got someone you to meet." Like, yeah. He's like, "I want you to meet my boss, Kevin Brown." And at this time, I'm kind of fresh with basketball, so a lot of the kids in Evanston know me, so they know that I'm Jeremy, and they know what some of the stories they heard, and they know I was good in basketball. So, Kevin had blessed me with being able to get on the outreach team as a part-time position. Working 4 hours a day and just trying to find my role in outreach. I was trying to find it. Like I was trying to literally figure out how I was going to connect and help these kids because I knew I had it in me. I just didn't know how to do it. I just didn't know how I was going to do it.
So what do you love about it?
And I love every single thing about it, just being able to connect with kids and just being able to actually give back and give them knowledge. It's just so amazing to me because a lot of these kids that's going through things, I went through some of those things. I didn't have the best life. It wasn't like I came from great things and things like that, but I think the things that made me who I am today is the trials and tribulations that I went through when I was in high school, and I can help some of these kids navigate through that and find a passion and find a way, because I found my passion. My passion is to help the Evanston community. I love Evanston community and I love helping people. Going back to what I was saying with Nathan and my brother, it kind of inspired me because they were doing that at an early age. So I seen it when I was young, and now they're trying to give me a chance to come back here and do it. And it's like, oh, this is amazing. This is my brother. He's telling me to do this. I'm actually in the process right now. I'm going to start school in the fall. I'm starting back at school in the fall, which is amazing. I was going to start in the summer, but I'm a basketball coach right now, so I have to take a summer. I have to take the fall off. I'm already committed to coaching basketball. I coach a traveling team, a traveling team where we travel around the state of Illinois and out of state of Illinois to play some of the best teams in their state. I coach an 8th grade team, so it's supposed to be the best 8th graders around the surrounding areas of Evanston, Winnetka, Chicago, the North Shore area basically, and we travel around. So I've been meaning to do this. I've just been kicking myself like I gotta start back school, and it's my passion, and I'm like, I gotta start back school. So I finally just took the steps this year, and I'm proud to say that I got enrolled, and I'm gonna be able to start in Oakton back to get my degree. Right now I'm indecisive of actually what degree I want to get it in, but it's gonna be with recreation. I would love to be a building manager. I would love to get into that. Yeah, I would love to be that. I would love to be able to direct some things to help the community. I can see myself being a director somewhere in the city of Evanston to give that energy and things back, because I know I'm from here. It's not like you're not going to see me here. You're going to see me at the same barbershops, the same grocery stores, the same shoe stores,
so this is your
the same restaurants.
In your home.
Oh yeah, oh for sure, and I want to help it out.
Do you have kids?
I have a 6-year-old daughter, Jade. She's in kindergarten.
What's her name?
Jade. Another J. And then I just had another kid in December, Jacoby. And it's so crazy because he was born on my brother's birthday.
And what does she do, your girlfriend?
So she works. She's a customer service rep. She works in Morton Grove area.
So when you work with these kids, like one of the things that you came from a very strong home life.
Yeah.
So which makes a big difference in a person's life, I think.
Yeah.
So when you're working with kids, do you find that most of them, even the ones who are struggling, do they struggle because of their home life, or?
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. You have a lot of kids that just don't have any structure because of no father or no mom, or not being able just to have the guidance and information that need to be told. Sometimes kids just need to be told the correct thing and the right thing. We have to be, sometimes it is what it is. We have to tell kids actual factuals, and sometimes we have to put it in a way that they understand. Now, everything doesn't have to be harsh, and everything doesn't have to be straight, just dead eye on it, but we have to get the point across to where they understand it and they can accept it and take it the right way and understand that this is, constructive criticism for things that goes on in life, I try to figure out how can I talk to them without deterring them or scaring them or not being able wanting to talk to me or not being able wanting to share things with me, or being able that they're just one ear out the other. So it's different strategies for different people. Everyone won't respond the same, and everyone won't have the same feelings towards things. So you got to find each person. It's like dealing with, obviously I deal with different people every day, but it's kind of like finding ways to navigate to connect with a person.
You help fill the gap for kids who don't have structure and don't have like a home life where they can get information from, say, a mother or a father.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. I'm that bridge connector, and I'm great with that, as well as my team. We're all great with that. I think that's why Kevin Brown all hired us. We have a very dynamic team, and we're all very good with that. But not also only on the flip side too is that we're also good with kids that do have good structure at home. I had a meeting with a kid last week that we sat down and met with his mom and dad. Was a good kid, and we had a meeting about him working, and he was just like, he wanted to do what he wanted to do and how he wanted to do it, and he felt that his parents was putting too much pressure on him. And I'm thinking in my head, we're having a conversation for an hour, and it's like we're not getting through with him, and I'm like, something is not right, and I had to find a way to get through with him. And I said, you know what, hey mom and dad, can you give me and him a second, please? And they were like, sure, Jeremy. And we got up, we walked away, we went to talk, and he broke down to me. He was like, man, I need help, Jeremy. I just need you to help me navigate through this. My mom and dad is expecting a lot from me, and I just want to be a kid. I just want to, I want to do things on my own. I want to be able to go out and get a job on my own. I want this. I want that. And he was like, you understand me, and you understand where I'm coming from. You always tell me great advice. Like, what can I do? And I just told him, I'm like, man, believe in yourself. Talk to your parents. Let them know that you want to start doing things on your own, and let them know that you're able to do things on their own. And I said, also, show them. Don't just tell them, show them. Be the person that you're trying to be, because you're trying to be the person without showing any activity. So it ended up being good. We ended up talking for 20 minutes, and we ended up getting in. I'm like, man, look, let's make this work. Let's set up a plan. And I'm not even joking. In 20 minutes, me and him set up a plan for the next 5 months. For the next 5 months, we set up a plan. The plan is amazing. We're going to figure out a way to get him employed. We're going to figure out a way for him to start saving money to buy a car. We're going to figure out him a way to get his driver's license. We're going to do all these things within a couple months, few months. We set it the 5-month goal, but we're going to try to crunch it in. We in the process. We're doing some of those things. So first, we're working on his license. We're going to get him employed somewhere around in Evanston. And he's a 17-year-old kid, and he's trying to find a way. He's at that stage where he don't know what he wants to do. If he wants to go to college, or if he wants to go to trade school, or if he don't want to go to school, or what he wants to do. So I'm kind of help him navigate and do that. And that's the type of things that we deal with as outreach worker on a day-to-day basis.
And who called you to the meeting with him and his parents? How did they connect with you in the first place?
So again, through the Mayor Summer Youth Employment Program, I was able to work with him. I've been working with him. I actually hired him for this year to help promote the job fair. So I get a marketing team of about 10 kids. I pick 10 kids out the high school, and we promote the job fair for 2 months straight. We go put flyers on cars. We go to district businesses. We put flyers inside business places. We put flyers inside hair salons, nail salons, downtown Evanston, Howard, Maine and Dodge, Whole Foods, Food for Less. We go everywhere.
And you pay these guys, or they pay?
Yes, we pay them about $8.50 an hour. They work for 3 hours out the day, and we just promote. We try to get as many kids as possible, and this is why we're successful in getting some kids to the job fair, because the great job that the marketing team does, and the great job that Kevin allows me to put this team together and just go out and just flood Evanston with community flyers everywhere. So.
And then so how did you connect with his parents? Like, what made his parents say, I need you to come over and talk to our kid.
Yeah, so what happened is that she reached out. He'd been having some troubles with everything. He reached out and was like, hey, I'm looking for a job. And I'm like, hey, man, you know, last time me and you were supposed to talk, we ended up not talking, and you didn't come to the job fair. So, you know, we kind of in a bind because you don't come to the job fair, we can't hire you. So I told him that, and his mom basically asked like, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, and I told her what it was, and she was like, oh no, we need to sit down and talk. That's the day-to-day basis of outreach, man. It's no typical day in outreach. You just never know what you're gonna get in outreach. It's always different things going on, and you come into work and you knowing that you can potentially help change someone's life every single day. It's not too many people that can do that, where you can come to a job and you know every day that you can help this person take a next step in life, and that's my passion.
There's a big push towards better, stronger gun control laws to stop youth gun violence. But on the other side of it, there's also what you do. How much do you think what you do helps to keep kids safe? And
I think it helps out a lot. I think we are kind of the connector and bridge to, you know, helping some of these kids, to give them alternative resources so that they don't have to pick up a gun and that they don't have to do things that they're not supposed to be doing. By all means, do I say that we are able just to say, hey, stop, put down the gun and all that? Nah, it doesn't work that way. But we build relationships with kids that we make them think about doing things that if we get through some of the kids and they don't do the things, that's a plus for us. We're not going to be able to stop everything, but we're able to connect with the whole Evanston on a way that most people can't. We're a dynamic group. We have the tools, you know, we all done been through a lot, and we're just able to connect with kids. I think what it relies on is that getting the youth early and getting to them to help them detour from even thinking about picking up a gun.
what do you think it is that makes kids in Evanston pick up guns? And what do you think if you had to pick one thing that we could do to stop that from happening?
What I would say what makes kids pick up guns is there's a lot of, you know, just the culture right now with everything going on, with the music culture, you know, the drugs and things like that. Having a lot of these kids not their self. They're just not their self. They're actually, some of these kids are doing things that they're not don't use when they're not supposed to be doing it. So again, it's like figuring out a way to get to them before they even thinking about that. And then a lot of this stuff in Evanston has to do with past history. Past history. What happened to your family? What happened to your friends? What happened to you?
Like ongoing.
Yeah. That's what it has a lot to do. So it's kind of like you are branded into some of the things and some of the problems that's going on. So now you feel like you have the right to do it. Or someone did something to your cousin, or someone did something to your brother, or someone did something to your family member. So it's like, now I'm in it.
Okay.
Just to answer your second question of how to stop it and how to get through it is that we have to figure out a way to stop getting illegal guns inside this community. That's a task that's big, because it's just, in my opinion, I think it's very easy for kids and youth to get access to guns. You know, you got people, you know, selling guns to kids, and you got people just, you know, being able to access guns in any type of way, and it hurts our community, and it hurts all around the world. It's not in Evanston, but it's period. It just hurts a lot being able to, kids being just so freely be able to get a gun.
Were all, like all of your siblings, were you all kind of rule followers?
No.
Any of you
No.
stray?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, every family has problems. It wasn't, you know, everybody wasn't on straight paths. Everybody's doing good now, and it's a blessing, but we all wasn't on straight paths. My sisters were always doing the right thing, and, you know, they were good, and they were always holding the family down. You know, everybody had their ups and downs.
Like
you know,
the
my brother
boys
said, had their ups and downs. I wouldn't say issues, but, you know, had the ups and downs. Everything wasn't the best, and, you know, it wasn't always what it was supposed to be. But, you know, over time things got good, and, you know, they made the right decisions, and they made right choices, and everything's turned out to be great. So, you know, I'm thankful for that. But again, I just can't praise Kevin Brown enough, man, how great of a person he is, and the opportunity he gave me, and the opportunity that Nathan gave me. My passion for this is just it's unbearable. Like, I couldn't see myself, you know, it was kind of crazy because I kind of got like complacent with this job because I loved it so much. It was like, wow, I really love this job, and I'm like, I don't want to do nothing else. This is what I want to do.
I know.
And I got to make change in other ways because I'm young, and you know, Nathan always tells me, man, Nathan has the best talk. He's a very good speaker, and he's a very good spiritual person for me. He's like, dude, you need to go back to school because he's going back in school. He's about to get his degree, and he was like, hey, you need to get back in school. And he basically like forced me, like, you need to do this, and I'm ready for that next challenge. And then again, when I get put in places that I can help out and really help out, like I'm able to help out again on the level that I love. But what about when I'm able to help out on changing things and making things work and help benefit, and our kids really help benefit our kids? Like, just even, you know, maybe 10 from years now, maybe I might ask to run to be an alderman. You never know. Like, that's change right there. Like, that could be huge. Like, I would love that. Like, you know, I know my calling card right now is helping kids, but who's to say from 10 years now when I'll be 38 that I won't run to be an alderman and do that? Like, that's in my future. I would love to be an alderman in 10 years now and really make change. I think I'm ready to start going into that path, and that's why I'm gonna do what I have to do to go graduate, get my degree, and go from there. So I'll be on a part-time basis. So it'll take me longer. But again, remember, I went to school for almost 2 years, so I have enough credits that I can go part-time and be okay. I have.
With your kids, like, what are your dreams for them?
I want them to grow up. I want to be able to, if they are willing and able to send them off to college, and if they want to do something else, I'm not the parent that's going to be stuck on college, because college is not for everyone. So, you know, if we find that away from that, from college, I want them to grow up and I want them to be successful. And I think I have the knowledge to tell them things that can help them be successful. And I want them to be the same way. I want them to grow up in Evanston. I want them to be, you know, dribbling basketball around Evanston. And I want my daughter to be doing cheerleading. But I also want them to be able to impact Evanston the way that I am. And I think whatever their calling card is, I just want to be able to say that my kids are okay, they're fine. If they want to go to college, they can go to college. If they want to go to trade school, they can go to trade school. If they want to be a lawyer, they can be a lawyer. I want to give them opportunities. I want to give them options, you know, because a lot of these kids growing up, they don't know that they have options until it's too late. Being able to tell my kids, like, you can do anything you want, and here's how you navigate through it. I would think that I want my kids to be, you know, brought up in Evanston and brought up the right way and just do the right things. And I think everything else will take care of itself. I'm a big believer in God, so, you know, I believe that things will take care of itself if you're doing the right things. Outreach is just so amazing, man. It's just, I can't see Evanston not having outreach. It's just amazing, man. And I just want to give a lot of praise to my coworkers. Lakeisha Barton, Stacy Moraney is excellent at what he do. He is amazing, and he motivates me, and, you know, my whole team motivates me, and I just love to give praise to people. And I think that Nathan and Kevin have brought me a long way, and, you know, he built me into a great outreach worker. I wasn't the A+ outreach worker from year one that I am now. Like, I wasn't, you know, I didn't know a lot. Nathan has taught me a lot, and Kevin has taught me a lot. It's my life. It's amazing. And again, we're all close, man. So it's like we've built a bond, and you have to be close to do this work.
What about the Kenyan nonviolence training that you did?
Oh, it was amazing.
What was that like?
It was long. Learning about nonviolence through Dr. King ways, and how he preached his ways, and how he did things, and changed me. Like, nonviolence is the way of courageous people, man. That's the way that it should be. I think Dr. King got me thinking a little bit different, and it helps me even with the kids. Like, telling the kids, like, if I hear an issue, like, hey, man, they supposed to be fighting. The minute I hear it, I'm up at the high school, calling the kid out of class. Like, look, hey, man, no, we need to figure out a way to make this work. And it happens. And I probably did that this year alone. Probably did that 10 times this year alone. Just stopping the fight before it got out to 3:35.
Do you know for a fact that you have interrupted potential violence?
Oh my God, yeah. Man, 2 years ago, man, there was so much stuff brewing and steaming in Evanston, and the outreach team was able to navigate through that. We had private meetings, secret meetings with some of the top gang-banging kids in Evanston, and we brought them together in one space, ordered food, sat down and ate, and talked to these kids and stopped these kids from picking up guns and resulting in things that could potentially turn out to taking someone's life and going to a funeral. We did that. That's facts. That's what the outreach team has did. We've had numerous. We've had about 3 groups like that, 3 serious groups where kids hated each other, where kids did stuff that they were like physically really trying to hurt each other. We were able to bring them together, sit down and talk, no tensions, nothing happened after any of these meetings. And now to this day, some of these kids are even close to each other. 2 kids, they were bringing them together. Oh man, it's just amazing. That just shows you the dynamic of our group and like how gratifying this work is. Like if you think that you are gratifying of just saying, hey, I help someone get a job, talk about you help someone save someone's life truly for real, and being able to say that, hey man, I was a part of helping a kid maybe not making a decision where he would be in jail for the rest of his life. That's gratifying for me. That I could take that all day.